Welcome to Boomer Travel Patrol. I'm your host, Lisa Caslin, and we are here today with Cierra King, and she is the co-founder of a wonderful company called Reset Retreats, based in Austin, but she does wonderful retreats in Belize as well as in Texas, and she's going to tell us all about it. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so talk to me. Tell me about your company.
So it's called Reset Retreat, and we combine personal growth with yoga and adventure.
Okay, so as you know, Boomer Travel Patrol caters to boomer age, so the 50 plus set, but not the wheelchair crowd by any means. Very young, spirited, with the income and time to enjoy vacations such as this. And I think a lot of times this age group is going through sort of this different chapter in their lives, and I think women in particular. So I want you to talk about that and how your company, as an alternative to a traditional vacation, can really help women through maybe life changes such as that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's great because nobody else has to plan it. So we do all the planning for people. And usually about half of our audience, half of our guests are in that age range as well. And what's really neat to see is even though everyone is going through different struggles or, different aspects of life, they all are actually very, very similar when it really gets down to the root of them. So it's nice to have this opportunity for them to be able to connect with each other and see that they're not alone in whatever it is that they're going through.
Mm-hmm. So talk about how the day goes. So, what's the itinerary? And, I know yoga is involved. Some people do yoga, some people don't do yoga. I wouldn't want somebody who was afraid of yoga not to take advantage of it. So, demystify that for us.
We have no, it's not at all. It's hilarious because the last retreat, it is a yoga retreat, we title it that. But strangely enough, the majority of the people, maybe not the majority, but about half of the people have either never had yoga or they don't even like yoga. But they somehow find their way there, which is great because yoga is so different for every person. Everybody has their own journey with it. And we always make sure that we have a yoga instructor that allows that to happen. So if that means you were sitting on your mat and you were doing nothing but breathing, and that's what you need in that time, then that's absolutely okay. Or if you decide you don't even want to do the yoga, then that's fine as well. Everything is optional, obviously.
Okay. So you have, people from all different walks of life, but somehow you have the right recipe, so it doesn't really matter, right? Everybody seems to connect. And according to you, when we were talking before, you said that some of the people who are completely polar opposites seem to be drawn together for some unknown reason. Talk about that.
Yeah, I think it's because, so we noticed it on our first retreat. It was somebody who was about 60 and somebody who was about 25. And they had pretty much nothing in common, as well as the age difference was quite significant. And they ended up learning the most from each other. And that was the feedback that both of them independently came and shared that story with us. And I think what's happening is you're opening yourself up to people that you wouldn't necessarily befriend or, go grab coffee with because they don't fit in that bucket of who you think your friends are. And that opens up so many opportunities to learn from people and learn their path. So I think that's what's happening because that has been a trend in quite a few of the retreats.
Okay. So talk a little bit about, the actual day-to-day and, for example, talk about Belize, talk about where do you do it in Belize? What does that look like? What does that feel like? What's the itinerary like? What can they expect?
Yeah, so for each house that we have, it's either going to be a villa or some form of a private villa that we have. The programming starts with yoga every morning and then leads into a breakfast, and then there's a little bit of downtime, and then it always leads into the personal growth coaching sessions. So those are the group coaching sessions. And then there's usually more downtime before we go on to the next experience, that's the part that usually changes each day, whether it's some form of an adventure or fun activity or another wellness program.
Very cool. So for folks that, maybe on the fence and really are trying to, wrap their head around, what am I really going to get out of this? So at the end of this, how long are they typically? I know you have abbreviated ones that are 3 or 4 days, right? And then you have
Yeah, it's
ones that are
between 4 days and 6 days.
4 days and 6 days. Okay, so the question is, what am I getting out of this?
Hmm.
What
I think the biggest two things that we see from people afterwards is the connections. And
Uh-huh.
I think that's an unexpected one. I don't think most people are going into it saying, I want a whole bunch of best friends, but you come out of it because you're the more true version of yourself than a lot of people have actually ever been. And
Uh-huh.
so all of a sudden they have this group of women who know them to a depth that a lot of times other people don't. So
Uh-huh.
connection for sure. And
Uh-huh.
those are connections that stay for a really long time. I mean, we hear every day these stories of girls that have been traveling, to different parts of the world to see each other. And then the second thing is a clear vision of who you are and where you want to go.
Yeah, that's key. That is a gift. Okay, so thank you so much. This was wonderful. And just to remind everybody, if they want more information, what's your website?
It's theresetretreat.com.
Okay, great. We want to have you back again. Have a
Thank you
great
so
day,
much.
Sierra.
Bye
You
bye.
got it. Bye-bye now.